We are back with a cooled cane. We made a Skinner blend and we made a long thin strip from the finished Skinner blend and rolled it up into a jelly roll. And we're going to cut this now, which is why we had to take a little break and cool it so we could be accurate when we were cutting. First thing, we're going to make 3 cuts in this. One is just about down the middle. And then one over to the side. And then another one to the side. More accurate you are here, the better. I unfortunately was not very accurate. Then we're going to take the whatever color you want to put the veins in your leaf. And this is, you roll it thin proportional to how big your cane is. This is a pretty small cane. I rolled this to, I believe, a number 4 thickness. What you're going to do is, we want to put these little inserts in. So you're going to lay this down like that. And we're going to put one in between here. And then we're going to put one in between here. So you want to make sure that you are filling in the correct order here. And you can just cut around those. We're just doing the little vein insert. You can do that for all of them. Try to keep your orientation so we know which way to put our cane back together. Okay. All right, so this was our first end, and then came this. And remember, when you're reassembling a cane, you want to make sure, you know, it's easy to line up this way. Make sure you're lining it up on the back, too. And then came this one. Lining up both ends. And then was our last piece. So we've kind of pushed it out to be a little bit of an oval. You want to make sure those are nice and tight in there. Then we're going to cut it at an angle. We're not going to cut it straight because we want it to be pointed on one end. We want it to be a little uneven. So we're actually going to cut at an angle. There we go. All right, and then we're also going to fill that little gap in there with another sheet of clay. And you can make the center one as thick as you want. I'm just going to do it one layer again. There we go. Then when we reassemble them, you're going to flip it. So remember, we cut it at an angle, so you're going to put the 2 thinner points together. And hopefully the veins will line up on both ends. If they don't, you know, blame it on the weather and say the leaves just formed wrong. All right, and then you could leave it like this. You can wrap it with another color, which I will do right now. When you wrap a cane, actually I don't know if that's going to be big enough, but remember, when you wrap a cane, we're going to cut one edge flat, we're going to cut the other edge, and line it up. Cut this other edge straight, and then roll it, and you'll start at one end and wrap. And I'm not going to make it. I'm going to pretend I did. Here, I can just pull this edge and we'll make it. It's a nice thing about clay being flexible. There we go. All right. Now you can reduce this cane and use it however you want. A lot of people just have these leaf canes in kind of in storage. You know, you're doing another complex flower cane and you just put a little leaf with it, or you're decorating a picture frame, say, and you just want to put a whole bunch of little leaves on it. So a lot of people will make these in several colors and just have them on hand. You don't know what size you're going to want. So it's the handy thing about canes is when you reduce them, you can actually reduce one end and leave the other end larger. So that's a common thing to do with this type of canes. So we're going to reduce it just by pinching. It doesn't have to stay in its pointed form right now, because we can reshape it when you're ready to cut it. So I'm going to leave this end large and just work on cutting down this end, reducing it. Remember, I'm not rolling. I'm pinching. I'm trying to squeeze the middle of the cane outward. So I'm pinching and pulling a little bit as I get it smaller. Remember, you're always going to lose the end of your cane. There's not a lot you can do about that. You can put plugs of other, like scrap clay in there to kind of minimize it, but don't worry about it. You're always going to lose that. You can just roll it up and make a new color, use it as a core scrap for a bead or anything like that. Anyway, so you're just going to reduce your cane. When you're ready to slice it, you can pinch it back into whatever shape leaf you wanted and then slice away. This is too soft. Let it rest before you do that. You're going to let it rest before you reduce it and before you cut it. If you don't have a lot of time to let it rest overnight, pop it in the freezer or the fridge. And then you can just slice the leaves. There you go. And that's the very versatile leaf cane.